Okay, well, I want to begin with something personal and kind of get it out of the way, kind of send a message about who I am, what works with me and what doesn't work with me. And one thing that I can be very clear about is attempts to intimidate me don't work. So let's talk about what I mean. Over the weekend, I noticed that I have become a target of one of these pro-Israeli groups. It's a shadowy group, doesn't disclose who it's funded by and what they're really about. It's called Canary Mission. Canary Mission happens to be one of those pro-Israel groups that has targeted all sorts of pro-Palestine, pro-peace students at universities like Columbia, Harvard, Tufts. Think Mahmoud Khalil. Unfortunately, he became one of the targets of Canary Mission. So did Rumiesa Ozturk, who simply co-wrote, I should say, an op-ed for her student newspaper at Tufts University, calling for the divestment of Israeli companies because of the ongoing genocide in Gaza. So typically, they engage in these targeting campaigns, and typically these targeting campaigns work. In fact, the individuals that I just spoke about spent time behind bars because of what Canary Mission does. They have a website essentially doxing anybody who's been critical of Israel. And I think that they're particularly gross. If you go on their website, they also target other organizations, and news organizations are included in there, including Students for Justice in Palestine, Students United for Palestinian Equal Rights. Ooh, can't have that. Jewish Voice for Peace is also a target of the Canary Mission. AJ Plus, Al Jazeera English, Al Jazeera Media Network. Anyone simply associated or part of the BDS movement is also a target. You'll go on their website and they list people's identity, and even though no one's committed any crimes, no one's done anything wrong, most of these people haven't even said a single thing that's pro-Hamas or anti-Semitic, doesn't matter. The mere fact that these people have been critical of Israel's genocide and slaughter campaign in Gaza and the West Bank, by the way, becomes a target. So I'm one of their targets, and I welcome their hatred because I think what they do is disgusting. I think what they provide cover for will go down in history as one of the worst genocides in human history. And I live in the United States of America. I'm an American. I'm proud to be an American. I'm not an Israeli. There's no law on the books that indicates that I have to support Israel in any way, shape, or form. And in fact, as Israel continues its genocide against the Palestinian people, I will continue to speak out against them, unafraid. Now, with that in mind, this organization has this on the front page of their website today to kind of give you a sense of the kind of garbage, the kind of bile you can experience from the so-called work that they put out. They're targeting Zoran Mamdani, who of course is the mayoral candidate in New York City, who's poised to win that race. And the reason why they don't like him is because, well, has he said anything anti-Semitic? No. Is he a jihadist? No. Does he believe in Sharia law? No. He just happens to be a Muslim American who wants to represent the city of New York rather than get down on his knees and fillet the government of Israel, like most other American politicians do. And Canary Mission can't have that. So now that we're like familiar with who they are, we should talk about how successful they've been in dog walking various members of the United States government. So for instance, the federal government has admitted working with Canary Mission to punish critics of Israel. Okay, so Peter Hatch, an agent with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, said the department had assembled a specialized group dubbed a Tiger Team to work on removing pro-Palestine college students from the country. He indicated to the court that some tips about students were communicated verbally before explaining that the team had also combed through the nearly 5,000 profiles Canary Mission had compiled of Israel's critics. You mean someone said, here is a list that the Canary Mission has put together? Judge William Young asked Hatch, according to court's transcripts. The official answered with a simple yes. Pathetic. Also, Haaretz recently revealed that Israel is using the information found on the Canary Mission site to ban entry into the country of some of the people the website follows, including Lara Al-Qassam, the American student barred from entering Israel for graduate studies at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. Now, luckily, I would never step foot on Israeli soil because I find that government utterly disgusting. And I see that country as a threat, not just to the Palestinian people, but to that entire region, the region of the Middle East. And their funding is super shadowy. I can get into their funding in just a second, but after they made me a target, Cenk, I got some really interesting messages. So first off, let me just say they put a post up on their Instagram page. And the comments on that post kind of gives you a sense of the type of people that we as Americans are supposed to do everything for. We're supposed to love them. We're supposed to give them our hard-earned taxpayer dollars so they can commit the genocide in Gaza. We're not supposed to criticize anything they're up to. Let me give you a few examples. Here's one person. You will meet your demise for all the unjust damage you have caused, just like Candace Owens. Oh, nice threat. It will be your turn soon. Those who hurt Jewish nation historically, whether collectively or individually, received their brutal karma sooner or later. Your time will be up soon.
So that's a very specific death threat. That's saying we're gonna kill you, because by the way, when Israelis say they're gonna kill you, they probably are. I mean, so every threat from an Israeli is super serious. Right now, their government is run by a bunch of psychotic serial killers. And honestly, this is not a new phenomenon. In 2018, when the Palestinians were doing a peaceful protest, walking up to the wall, the IDF murdered every single one of them. Sniper shots, killed them all in a peaceful protest. Killed an American journalist covering it with a sniper shot to the neck. So when I've had the IDF write my name on a bomb, now this is one of many death threats that Anna got. She's gonna read you the rest of them. But I'm assuming we're gonna have congressional hearings right after this video goes up, right? Because I know that I don't know of a single death threat that was made to a single pro-Israeli student on any college campus. I've heard, oh my God, they had to walk around to get to a class. Oh, somebody said something against Israel. Whatever it was, believe me, if there was a death threat, we would have all heard about it 2 billion times, right? Okay, but now you have death threats against normal Christian and Muslim Americans. Will there be congressional hearings?
Of course not.
Of course not.
Hold on,
of course
Jake.
not.
This is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm starting with the more, I mean, when you look at the grand scheme of things and everything I'm gonna share with you, that seemed benign. Okay, here's another one.
None of them are benign. They're all threats and they're all disgusting.
Slaughter you, bitch. I mean, slaughter is what you guys specialize in. Let me continue. Here's another guy. I will kick your ass if I see you, bitch. Go to Gaza, bitch. Let's see. You are a Nazi bitch. And then ended it with an FU and middle fingers. Here's another person. Too bad she's not in Gaza.
So listen, there's two things I gotta address real quick.
Sure.
Because they think, man, if we had you in Gaza, then we'd murder you.
Yeah, just like they're murdering everyone else in Gaza, intentionally.
Right. So, I mean, it's a confession wrapped in a death threat, right? Oh, please come to Gaza so we can murder you like the Israeli government always does. But we're so mad at you for criticizing us. Oh, you were so wrong to criticize us for being genocidal killers. That's why we're gonna murder you if you come to Gaza, right? Because Gaza's a slaughterhouse, which they're happily applauding and cheering on. And second of all, they're used to, it's okay. We can murder anyone we like, because anyone who criticizes Israel is a Nazi. And that gives us the right to slaughter them, murder them, kill their babies, starve them to death, because in our ridiculous, paranoid, ludicrous, insane minds, everyone in the world's a Nazi. Everyone in the world hates Jews. Everyone in the world hates Israel for no reason. For no reason at all, when Israel was just benignly murdering everyone in Gaza. Oh, and then they brag, they're like, well, we murdered 62,000 people. We injured 150,000 people. We murdered 20,000 kids, but we didn't murder you all. That's their big excuse these days.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll individually threaten to murder anyone who criticizes Israel, and we'll get the American government to send us endless checks and endless weapons. And if anyone dares to criticize, we'll threaten them to ruin their lives by calling them anti-Semites, Nazis, etc. We'll threaten to fire them, arrest them, deport them. And then if none of that works, we'll threaten to murder you here on American soil.
And here's the thing, Cenk. I'm an American citizen. I was born and raised here. My parents came here legally. They're naturalized citizens, and then they gave birth to me. So they can't denaturalize me the way that Trump has threatened to do on behalf of Israel when it comes to other American citizens who have been critical of Israel. I'm also not implicated in a pedophile blackmail ring. I've got no skeletons in my closet. So the only thing they've got left is to try to scare me, intimidate me, and say that they're going to murder me. And guess what? It's not gonna work. Let me give you more. Here's another person who says, she better lives by an emergency room. Here's another one, God will take her away. And those were just the public comments on the post. There's more.
By the way, I'm gonna say one more thing before we get to the DMs. So now we showed you who made those comments. They're public comments.
They're public comments.
I guarantee the reaction of by the genocidal maniacs still supporting Israel is, I can't believe Anna doxed them by giving their names when all they were doing was threatening to murder her. It seems anti-Semitic to complain about it. It seems anti-Semitic to point out that I wanted to murder you in public. I can't believe you would dox me. Nobody, I'm not interested in your address. I'm not interested in where you live. I'm not a psychopath like you. I'm not looking to have me or anyone else do violence to you because we're moral, decent people. We're not psychopaths like you. But yes, you put your name on these things, whether it's the public ones or the DM ones. And you sent it very clearly. I would like to murder you. So you don't get to complain about, because there's no end to the complaints about anti-Semitism. No, we're not allowed to threaten to murder you? That seems discriminatory against me.
They're just the world's special victims, and anytime they do anything wrong, it's the best trick in the book, and people have fallen for it for such a long time, right? They do something wrong or evil, and they immediately accuse the person criticizing them for their bad acts of being anti-Semites. But the victim card has expired, okay? Israel's carrying out a genocide right now as we speak. They are engaged in conquest. They are stealing land, not just the Gaza Strip, not just the West Bank, but they've been annexing parts of Syria ever since the fall of Bashar al-Assad. You have Benjamin Netanyahu saying out loud that this is part of the greater Israel project. What more evidence do you need to figure out in your mind that you're the bad guys? But let me give you some of the DMs, okay? Those were the public comments. These are the messages I'm getting, okay? By the way, aside from people sending me images of their weapons, okay? I get messages like this. God willing, your family gets tortured and burned alive, you spoiled American college trust fund baby. And obviously this person created the account simply to send me that message. 0 posts, 0 followers. So unbelievably taken over by hatred that they take the time to create a profile just to send me that disgusting message.
But very clear.
It seems like slaughter is very much part of the culture in Israel these days.
So, and he puts an Israeli flag on it just to make sure you know. But yeah, on behalf of Israel, I would love to murder you, which is what we generally do in Israel. Anyone who criticizes or is a journalist covering this war accurately, we murder, like the 5-6 journalists that they just murdered the other day, like Shireen Abu Akleh, an American journalist they murdered earlier. Murder, murder, murder. And by the way, when he talks about lighting people on fire, that's what they do on a daily basis in Gaza. When you drop a bomb on someone, you burn them alive. Israel has been burning Palestinians alive for 2 straight years. It is one of the most disgusting campaigns in human history. Here's
another one. This one I sent to Cenk earlier, and it enraged him. One person calls me a whore, followed with, pretty clear we need to unalive you.
Okay, so I mean, again, Israeli flag, we need to unalive you. And when Israelis make that threat, since their government is filled with psychopathic killers, it's a super serious threat. But will any American authorities, American Congress, American media care? My prediction is not one person from mainstream media will cover this. Not one government official will care. If you're threatening to murder Christians or Muslims or anyone else in this country, they don't care.
No, they don't.
They don't. But if you insult someone who's pro-Israeli, congressional hearings and ruin their lives, right? Okay, are you gonna cover this, Elise Stefanik? Congress, are you gonna do anything about this? Mainstream media, are you gonna do a single thing about it? No, but God forbid, that the feelings of Dana Bash or Jake Tapper be slightly insulted by criticism of Israel, a foreign country.
Yeah, exactly. Look, the reason why I'm doing this is I'm not looking for people to feel bad for me, right? Because I am not shaken by this. For me, I think it's important for people to understand why there are so many figures in the media who are terrified of accurate reporting of Israel. And more importantly, I'm not suicidal. And if anything happens to me, it's not an accident. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. I just wanted to be on the record. Here's one more example I'll give you. One person says, hope somebody drags you into an alley, cut your effing throat, and bury you in a shallow grave. You're an anti-American piece of, you know what?
No, you're anti-American.
Yeah.
You're saying that Israel should be the dogs of America, and if anybody in America dares to even complain about Israel, that's it, their throat should be cut. Is that an American thing to argue for? That if anyone uses their First Amendment rights, we should slit their throats if they made the mistake of using their First Amendment rights against a foreign government like Israel? So this is disgusting. But I know that no one will care. I know that. I'm gonna say this in case they might care about this. So groups like Canary Mission are
terrorist groups?
Yeah, well, of course, what they're doing is they're encouraging stochastic terrorism.
Yep.
So they're saying, okay, this person is an anti-Semite because he or she criticized Israel. They're not allowed to criticize Israel, they're all anti-Semites. And then they get like tons of death threats against that person, probably every single time. And then they probably laugh their ass off behind the scenes. Let's go, cross your fingers, hope to get lucky that one of them murders Anna, okay? And meanwhile, the US government takes their lists and arrests Americans based on their lists.
Yep.
So now there's a pro-Israel group inside America that is encouraging death threats against Americans, and the US government works for them like goddamn dogs, and they'll ruin your life if you criticize Israel. So we're all supposed to stay quiet about this. Well, you came to the wrong place, brothers and sisters. I'll double down what Anna said. If any harm comes to us, it was definitely Israel. We love life, we love America. This is proof of life, okay? If any of these monsters do anything, it was almost definitely Israel supporters who are maniacal and cheer on serial killers every single day. Oh no, we didn't kill enough Palestinian babies. I can't stand it. And by the way, okay, this is the part where the only reason why anyone might care about this story. A predecessor group to them was called Masada 2000. And what they did was they put together a list of 8,000 self-hating Jews, okay? And they targeted those Jewish Americans as well. How dare you criticize Israel? And I tell you that partly because if you're Muslim or Christian, no one cares about you in this country. Okay, I'm keeping it real, I'm sorry. Show me one person who cares, then I'll totally change my mind. But you have to criticize anyway. So, and these guys target Jewish Americans for peace as well, okay? Through Jewish Voices for Peace and any other Jewish group who's wonderful out there fighting for peace. Okay, so religion doesn't matter. This isn't about religion. They're hiding behind religion and using Jewish people as human shields so that if anybody criticizes them, anti-Semite, they're trying to hurt the Jews. Nobody's trying to hurt the Jews. We're trying to say that Israel should stop slaughtering Palestinians and we should stop paying for it. They go, nope, that's it. If you're a Muslim, Christian, or a Jewish American, and you dare to criticize Israel, we'll try to ruin your life.
Right.
So this isn't about religion. This is about protecting a foreign government.
So one other thing I want to bring up is, a lot of people, Israelis specifically, got chapped over me telling the truth about how the international community views Israel. The international community hates Israel. And it's not because they're Jewish. No one cares about being Jewish. No one cares. Literally, like, outside of a handful of disgusting neo-Nazi white supremacists, no one cares about Judaism or who is Jewish, who isn't Jewish. It has nothing to do with that. You're slaughtering innocent people. We see endless videos and images of children with their freaking limbs amputated if they haven't already been slaughtered by the IDF. Okay, that's what people are criticizing. The fact that they immediately try to turn it around and make it about them, deflect and make it about how they're the victims of anti-Semitism is so loathsome and so disgusting. But on top of that, we gotta talk about the cultural issue within Israel, because they love to talk about how, oh, the Palestinian children deserve to be slaughtered because they're taught to hate. They're taught to hate the Israelis. But if you look at videos online, there's tons of them. It seems like a lot of young Israelis are just taught to hate the Palestinians. In fact, there's a Palestinian American by the name of Hamza. He has an incredible YouTube channel. He streams and has these conversations with Israelis living in Israel. And I wanna go to the first video to give you a sense of what those conversations look like.
Hi, IDF?
No way, it's not you.
Do you know me? Do you watch my videos?
Yeah.
What do you think about the bombs in Gaza? Do you think they should continue to bomb Gaza?
Yeah, I should flood the city, no people.
Really, no people? There are 1 million children in Gaza. You said you want them all gone?
After our hostages come back, then bomb Gaza.
When the hostages come back, you'll bomb Gaza?
I want that.
So when the hostages return, you want to bomb Gaza?
Yeah.
And you want to kill everyone there?
It's maybe because you're an Arab, you are stupid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm stupid because I'm Arab? What does that mean?
Yeah.
I wanna go to another one. Let's go to the next
Before
video.
we go to the next one, I just want to point out what the IDF soldiers there are saying. They're saying, be stupid enough to give us the hostages back, and we're gonna murder you all anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, do they speak for the government of Israel?
Yes.
They don't. But
They do.
But do they? Are there tons and tons of them on video saying this? As Smotrich and Ben Gvir said, annihilate them all. Yes. Has Benjamin Netanyahu said, conquer Gaza, take it all, we're on a mission for greater Israel? Yes. So that genocidal campaign that you're seeing with your own eyes from IDF soldiers there is actually the official government policy of Israel, and their entire parliament voted 68-9, not a single Jewish vote against it, in a vote to say, we will never make Palestine a state. Basically, they're saying they'll be our inferior servants for the rest of their lives. We'll run open air prisons and concentration camps, and they will never be free because we are the superior race. I've heard this before. But the last time I heard it, I was super proud that America went to fight the monsters who were doing the Holocaust and save those beautiful Jewish people from getting hurt, okay? That's when we were the good guys. Now, our government says, oh, you're offending the sensibility of the Germans. The German feelings have been hurt. Congressional hearings about German feelings, okay? But who's the Germans are slaughtering? Who cares? Send them more money. Send them more money. They haven't slaughtered enough people yet, okay? See, we used to be proud of this country when we stood for justice. Now we stand for these maniacs.
One more video, let's go to A2, please.
Hi.
Oh, you're the one that with the Free Palestine.
What do you think about Israel bombing Gaza and killing all the civilians?
I don't think nothing. I think they should have it. I think that what?
You said you think they should be bombed?
Yeah.
The innocent lives. Are the kids being bombed in Gaza? Is that okay?
Yeah.
The kid, maybe you didn't hear me. I'll ask you again. Are the kids?
Yeah, you know why? Okay, yalla, bye.
Hi.
Palestine.
Hi, nice to meet you. I don't even know you. Why are you being like that? You think it's funny that Israel's bombing innocent lives in Gaza?
Your baby's here.
You think it's funny?
Yeah, it's very funny.
Are you even human?
I'm human, you see, I'm not a robot. This baby is a...
No, you know what? One more video, last one.
Hi, I'm from Palestine.
No, listen, peace.
Peace?
Yes, peace.
Okay, so free Palestine?
No. After we kill all Gaza, then it will be peace.
There are 1 million children in Gaza and you want them all gone? You said you wanted peace by killing Palestinians. Unfortunately, they teach their kids that to have peace is by getting rid of Palestinians.
Guys, this is the banality of evil. This is what we study in museums. I remember going to the Thomas Museum here in LA, and it's a great museum, is about the Holocaust. And what I wanted to find out was, how did the regular Germans live with it, right? Because that's the part I couldn't believe. Like, okay, you get a cult leader, he takes over the weapons and then grabs the government, I get it, right? But I wanted to know about the banality of evil and how the Germans thought, oh, it's no big deal, round up the Jews and the Poles and the Roma and the LGBTQ and murder them all, put them in gas chambers, etc. No big deal, right? How could human beings think that way? Well, now we have our answer. You saw it in those videos. Like perfectly normal people, they're like, yeah, murder all the kids. Palestinians have no rights, they're inferior. They're not even human, so what? Slaughter their babies, slaughter all of their babies. And they do it with like, oh, we're in the suburbs, we're having fun, we're so rich and we're so great, and we have paid family leave and we have everything we need and we're a top 20 economy and we have Iron Dome and we have nukes and you can't ever touch us. So since we're invincible, we're just gonna rub it in your face, ha ha ha, we like to kill your babies. And America goes, oh, congratulations, here's another $20 billion.
Yep.
So guys, they don't represent all Israelis. We just had a protest of 500,000 Israelis that showed up that said, they were fighting for the hostages back, they're fighting for peace. Mixed reasons why.
They want the hostages back. They don't care about what's happening to the Palestinians at all. Let's not needlessly launder their reputations, and let's just call it for what it is and who they really are. They don't care about the Palestinians. They're in favor of the starvation. They're in favor of the mass slaughter. They just want their hostages back, and that's it.
Guys,
they're worried about IDF soldiers now committing suicide because they probably can't live with themselves considering the atrocities they're carrying out. They only care about the Israelis. That's it. There might be a handful of Israelis who might care about all those innocent people being slaughtered in Gaza, but polling indicates a vast majority of Israelis love the slaughter, and it disgusts me. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to love that? I'm supposed to sit here on this show and talk about how wonderful Israel is? No, they're committing a genocide, and the vast majority of people in that country love it.
So that's according to the polling. I wish it wasn't the case. It's not some random thing that somebody's throwing out as a trope or whatever. Last poll I saw, 82% of Israeli Jews said, keep going in Gaza. Jesus Christ, man. So they'll say something different about the hostages because those are precious Israeli lives. And all lives we are perfectly consistent. All lives are perfectly precious. We don't want the same thing that the Israeli population and government want. We don't want to slaughter the Israelis. We want to leave them in peace. We don't want a single Israeli hurt.
I want nothing to do with them.
Yeah, so
nothing to do with them.
So, but the polling, poll after poll after poll shows, yeah, we want to end it. Also, they're beginning to realize that this is turning into a PR disaster for Israel, and good.
Yeah, slaughtering kids turns out to make you look really bad. Yeah.
And I know what their justification was. Oh, everybody hates the Jews anyway. Yeah, everybody hated us anyway.
No one cares that you're Jewish. Literally, no one cares that you're Jewish. Literally.
And by the way, you gotta let it go, man. I know everybody was taught in Israel, oh, the world hates all the Jews and they're gonna try to kill you at any moment. Kill them first. They're all Nazis, kill them first. You can't teach someone anything worse than that. And ironically, all projection, what do they say? Oh, the Palestinians teach their kids to hate the Jews. No, you're teaching your kids to absolutely hate the Palestinians, think that killing them is killing Nazis, killing their children is some sort of moral act. That's what Israelis are doing right now. So you'll excuse us if we're not overly impressed by the 18% of Israelis that have their conscience bothered by this war. That number should be 98%, especially for people who went through a Holocaust and so many pogroms themselves. How could you not have empathy? But look, those tapes are not, I wish they were exceptions. We show you that because according to the polling, that's the rule. Blithely, giddily, and backing the slaughterhouse in Gaza.
Yep.
So, look, they can say anything they like about us, but we're gonna keep telling you the truth. And the truth is, this current government of Israel is totally a rogue, pariah, terrorist state. And the fact that they're taking money from all of us, every single one of us, when you go to work, you're partly going to work to send money to Israel to kill those Palestinians and laugh about it. And now their supporters are openly threatening to murder Americans who disagree.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's where we are. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.